Hello. Hello. Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Got to be a little quieter today. I didn't have a conference room available, so I'm going to be doing this in the open. Need me to foresee Bitcoin. Don't we all need that? So, yeah, well, Diogo, Frederick, how you guys doing? Good seeing you again. Yeah, still looks like a downtrend is intact. If you guys caught my video last night, you do know that all these descending trend lines in most of these are still holding. The one in Ethereum's been holding. Bitcoin Cash is a bit of an outlier. They're actually making a move today. They're up 7%, it looks like, and they're having a nice little move, so that's good. We got Ripple still holding us downtrend. We've got Litecoin still holding us downtrend. So again, we talked about this trend line last night. If you recall, these two tops were in. I think we were down here during the video, and now here we've failed at it yet again. So thanks, Frederick. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Feeling better back at work. So yeah, I've been watching Ethereum as well. That's my main go-to coin at this moment in time. I feel it's going to have a bit of a larger percentage gain than Bitcoin when we start to run. So I'm really looking at Ethereum for my positions here, but it's been choppy. So I actually traded it right here up at the trend line, and then got stopped out for about a 1% loss, which is fine. So that's a little bit how I traded it. You can just see the red volume coming in here. I was hoping the quiet volume would precede an uptrend, but it did not. We didn't even try to address this trend line here at this point. We just basically failed. Oh, there you go. Yeah, people hit like. Thank you very much, Justin. Cheerleader of the day. Thank you very much for reminding me to pump my channel. Not very good at that. I don't really have a buy point at this moment in time, to be honest with you. We did expect Ethereum to come down and hit 180. We got all the way down to like 202 essentially. We didn't even get to 180, but we were all asleep when this happened, and then within basically an hour, it shot up off the bottom, and by the time we all woke up, it was already sitting up here at 250. So I really didn't feel comfortable getting in pretty much anywhere. So I'm pretty much still holding cash at this point. Like I said, I did try to enter here, seeing if it would break out. It did not. It failed, so I got out. And that's been my trading with Ethereum. Really not a lot. I've tried to pick at a couple places where it could pop, and it just fails every single time. So I don't have a specific buy point. So I'm pretty much looking for price action and behavior, and I'm trying to see if the price action is living within the constraints of this overall bearish pattern we're having, or if the price action is actually looking more bullish to the point where we could take really aggressive positions. Hey Julian, thanks for joining us. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think people like the live streams, are able to ask questions. Yeah, it's just a really cool experience, I think, for everyone. Me too. Yeah, this 24/7 market, you know, Keith mentions 3 a.m. is a killer. It is, man. It really is. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. I stayed up really late last night. We saw this low. I think it was live streaming when this low was put in. I was expecting it to go lower. It still may go lower. And what I mentioned in my video yesterday is maybe we get down. So here's a cup with a handle, which I mentioned 2 days ago. Here's a cup with a handle right here, and maybe we get down and test the handle area, test this low, and really see what the action is like down here, because this may be a good place to load up if we do continue higher. So I don't exactly know the time frame. Maybe a day to 3 days, maybe 18 hours to day and a half, the way that the 24/7 market goes. It is very indecisive. if I can. Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me again. It says my stream health isn't very good. Give me a couple minutes, guys. Let me see if I can do something about that. Hold on. All right, hello guys. I'm back here if we're still streaming. Can you guys hear me? So 1200 wasn't. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Very good, very good. All right, so catching up with the chat, I did plug into an Ethernet cable. I should have done that earlier. Frederick mentions about my 1200 Bitcoin. So that 1200 Bitcoin video is a possibility, but again, I've said this a number of times. I don't want you guys trading off of that as your primary target. I think you should take good signals as you get them. Like we actually talked about, I think my video 2 days ago, I mentioned this cup with handle. I mean, this is a good run right here. I mean, if you're able to get in on this move, that's 15% to the upside. Even now, you'd still be profitable at about 6.7%. So, yeah, I think you guys really should still, you know, be taking some positions, but I wouldn't be getting crazy. Okay, Ethereum Bitcoin chart is making me believe Ethereum will go up or Bitcoin will go down or both. Not sure if I'm looking at it right. Let me take a look at that, Diogo. I don't have those against each other. So you're talking about Ethereum, Bitcoin. I like the Bittrex charts. Don't ask me why. I've actually never looked at this chart. So that's Ethereum against Bitcoin. Let's go. Let's go ahead and zoom out to a bigger time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour. Actually, I'm probably go to the daily chart. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so this kind of looks like Ethereum's chart. Yeah, a nice big run up. I'm having kind of a hard time wrapping my head around this because I'm thinking of Ethereum and I'm thinking of Bitcoin and kind of how they play against each other. I do think there was a possibility that they diverge, and that's going to be interesting time for the market if that happens. That could be pretty interesting if they diverge. But they've been trading in tandem for quite some time. Now the percentage moves are a little bit different, but they move with each other. So what you're seeing here is really the percentage difference. So from the peak here, we're down 50% in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So that's, I guess, telling you that Ethereum is underperforming Bitcoin. And actually that would be the case, because if we go back, Yeah, they do keep the same pattern, but if overall they do have different patterns. If you look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, we have a series of higher highs in place, right? If you look at Ethereum, it's completely different. We have a big V bottom happen, that occurred. So I guess you definitely could say that Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum, right? Because we had this big drawdown at Ethereum, and now we're retracing that again. Yeah, that's a possibility that I actually have a video on why Ethereum will be worth more than Bitcoin, but you can check that out. It's an okay video. It's not my best. Just something, I don't know, I just made it. Yeah, so I don't know if I would do Bitcoin against Ethereum, because they are really trading in tandem since this top. So they had divergence over here, but they've really been on it from about here on. They've really been very in tune with each other since, kind of late August time frame. They have really been trading with each other. Yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin here. Yeah, so here they've come down. They peaked at the same day, like damn near the same hour, and they've come down. They actually bottomed at the same hour. So there's a lot of similarities within the chart patterns. So I don't know if I'd necessarily be trading one over the other in terms of like against each other. Like I probably wouldn't trade Ethereum over Bitcoin or Bitcoin over Ethereum. I would trade them on their own merits, not against the merit of the other coin. I mean, they're both huge behemoths, right? They're both just, Bitcoin still thinks $70 billion. So, yeah, let's just check out like coin market cap. Yeah, 64 billion versus 26 billion. I mean, they're still massive market cap companies, so I just trade them on their own right. I wouldn't pin them against each other. I don't have a lot of fundamental. I don't have a lot of fundamentals in Civic. So here's the thing with most of these altcoins, especially when you start talking about Civic. Like if we look at Civic, what's Civic's market cap? Can you hear me over there? No? Okay. Oh, no, I mean like in the office. Can you hear me? Sorry, talking to my coworker. No? Okay. Yeah, so 132 million market cap. Not too bad. Not too bad of a coin. But here's the thing with most of these coins. When you talk about fundamental analysis, there's no fundamentals to any of these. There's no fundamentals. Zero. So there's my fundamental analysis. And then I think I actually do have Civic in my plethora of pairs here. In terms of the technical analysis, so here's what you see here. It looks like I drew this trend line a while ago. Looks like it actually came up and failed the trend line on the top side. That being said, you do have, you do have this nice little flag opening up here. So if you want to, if you had some good volume, you could trade Civic to the upside here, but it looks like it's kind of doing a measured move thing. Looks like we're popping from here up to here, and then we're gonna move this higher. See, it didn't even get to the measured move, so not a lot of strength in this coin. I don't think you should infer what a coin's going to do based on any kind of news event or anything like that. Coins like Civic are going to move probably based off of market utilization. It just kind of goes like, it's like stocks, right? Like if you have a good earnings report, meaning that people like your product and are using it and your company's being profitable, the price is going to rise. It's the same thing with this. There's a lot of that involved, especially with the smaller coins. Outside of just the pump and dumps and the hype and all that kind of thing, and just crowd momentum and herd mentality. Oh, I can definitely say fundamentals don't exist in terms of trading. In terms of trading this coin, in terms of trading Civic, fundamentals don't matter at all. So, and here I'll prove that. What fundamental drove that pop right there? What fundamental thing did Civic change? What fundamental thing did they do to make this happen? Anyone have an answer for that? Now, if you want like a technology analysis, that's one thing, but that a technology analysis is not going to drive the price of this coin. Adoption will drive the price of the coin. Okay, adoption will do that. Network utilization will do that, which is again adoption, and lack of being hacked will probably do that. But there's not too much fundamental analysis that can be. Yeah, but that's not fundamentals. Polyonics is not fundamentals. That's technicals. That's market participants. That is not fundamentals. So Civic did not make Polyonics. Yeah, I'll look at Nexus real quick. Nexus. Take a look at Nexus, down 13%, one of the weaker coins here. We had a symmetrical triangle, and we're really just chopping around. Really weak volume here. The largest volume bar is this big down bar. Yeah, I wouldn't hold on to this. There's really no reason to. From a technical perspective, if you're a long-term holder, you can hold anything, but there's no reason to put money to work here. There's reason to put money to work right here out of this very nice cup with handle. This is a beautiful cup with handle. This is beautiful. Very nice. So there you go. So this is your technical analysis leading up to a price appreciation. OMG. You know what? I've switched to very neutral on OMG. I've just kind of switched to really neutral on it. So I did a bunch of my video last night. I think I recorded it 8 times, and I never got the same message across in any 8 versions of that video. But I did mention Omisego in one of those videos that nobody saw it, and what I said was this thing has had since at least Bitfinex started trading it an appreciation of thousands of percent, 2,400%. So you can't expect that to go on forever. So it looks like it's entered a period of consolidation. It probably won't make another high for a while. This price move may need to be consolidated for the foreseeable future. Unless I see an actual tradable pattern in here in some way, shape, or form, I'm just very neutral on it. So also keep in mind, when I look to get into a coin, I will, number one, either have a very clear defined target, like maybe this level up to 13. So if you want to get in here and trade it up to 13 and for a 30% gain, no problems with that. But you need to define an entry point. You need to know what your risk is going to be, and you need to understand when you're going to get out. Basically, you need to have a good signal for entry, and you need to know when you're going to get out. Let's take a look at pay. Yep. Nothing doing. Just floating like everything else. So when you say serious consolidation, just to let you know the kind of trader that I am, hey, there you go. I am the kind of trader that I like to buy on strength. I don't like to buy on weakness. I would rather buy up in this consolidation when it breaks out of this consolidation area than when it's all the way down here. I mean, look, if I happen to catch this move, yeah, that's just not something that I really do. I don't really, especially in pay. Pay isn't a leading coin. Like Ethereum and Bitcoin, we were looking for the moves to 3,000. We were looking for the moves to 180. And pay, we really weren't looking at that. But anyway, that being said, we still have a series of lower lows. We have a double top here that failed, and we're still heading lower. So until pay proves to me that it can have some support of some kind, of some buying action, there's no need to put money at risk. You guys have money. Okay, do you want to watch that money evaporate due to chance, trading by chance, or do you want to pick very good setups and have a very good opportunity for making money? And I guess on the flip side of that is, are you comfortable, P-Toy, not pay, are you comfortable not doing anything for a few weeks? So you need to ask yourself those questions. So P-Toy is setting up nicely. So here you go. So here we have some nice volume. We have a nice little triangle pattern happening here. Little symmetrical triangle. It's pretty wide. I'm not a huge fan of this really wide action. But hey, if this thing breaks out here on some volume, could be good for a trade. You could end up, there's 20% gain. You can't be mad at that. Yeah, Alexander, you're going to go broke doing that. You're going to go broke doing that. Straight up. So, let me rephrase that. If that's all you study is buying at lows, if that's all you study and you begin to notice certain patterns, certain volume signatures, if you start to notice certain patterns, you can do good. But just like I'm talking, you're still going to have to be patient. You're going to have to wait for your setup. Whatever your setup is, you're going to have to sit there and you're going to have to wait for it. That's pretty much what it's about. So you're never going to, no one's ever going to buy the low, no one's ever going to sell the high. There's one person on the globe that buys that low tick. There's one person at the globe that buys that, that sells that high tick. And I'll tell you what, they're not the same person. XZC, XVC, XZC. I don't know if I have that one. XZC. Zcoin. Ooh, there you go, 14%. Yeah, looks like it had a nice pop, some pretty good volume. Nice pop, some pretty good volume. Looks like it's consolidating. So it's sitting here at these prior highs here. So I would wait to see this pop up here. About 8% within the handle here. Zcoin. That's what I meant, yeah. Yeah, it kind of has a cup-ish pattern, and it popped out. You're sitting in a consolidation here. So action doesn't look too bad. Let's go. It's a really small pattern, so let's go and dig a little bit deeper in the 15-minute. Still have these big green pops. We've got a few red pops. We have declining volume. Not looking too bad. This would be good for a smaller trade. This would be maybe decent for a small trade. Yeah, you got about 8% to these highs, 6-7% to these highs. You know, if you want to trade within this pattern, I mean, that may be okay. But then, you know, take a look at something like this where you have also another nice bottom that flags out, right? And you pop higher and these kind of round over. So, you know, be aware of these rounding patterns as you get into these really small really small coins. Hold or sell Litecoin and Ethereum. Let's go check Litecoin. Haven't looked at them for a little bit. So I would say you hold it unless it fails this 52 level. That would be my call right now. If you're already in Litecoin, I say hold it until you're doing this 52 level, and if it breaks that 52 level, then you can go ahead and sell it. I'm not sure if it's a stop loss measure you're trying to do. If you have, I don't know if you're upside down in these, how far you're upside down. I mean, a lot of things come into play, but I don't like to hold losses. And Ethereum. So kind of the same with Ethereum. They've got this level down here at 276. That there was a high here, there was a low that was tested here, and now we're just we're sitting up here right at this trend line, and you know, if we're not going to break above it, then we're probably going to fade down into it. So me personally, I would be selling up here. I don't see too many reasons to be buying. DCR, I'm not familiar with DCR. Not familiar with them. Oh yeah, I got them in here somewhere. Anyway, so what I say here is I see a double top forming. I see some decent volume going up into it. This is a 15-minute chart, and this thing looks choppy. This is choppy. Overlook Bitcoin? I don't think I overlooked it. We spent a little bit of time on it. Yeah, you know, I'm not happy with most of these patterns these days. Most of these are just, you guys are reaching. I mean, I really feel like there's a lot of people reaching for trades, and you shouldn't have to reach for trades. You should look at a trade, and you should look at a coin, and you should be like, oh my God, that is awesome. I need to get in that. You know, this type of choppy action here, really hard to hold into. You know, you're expecting a breakout and a blowout, but how many times do you get that? 1, 2, 3 over the whole time frame of this chart. So basically 3 minutes out of an entire day are you going to get that kind of a move. Yeah, look at NAV coin, then we'll go back and look at Bitcoin. Someone mentioned Bitcoin again. There's NAV coin. Again, down 10%. I don't like anything down 10%. Holy crap, Internet of People. Wow. Holy shit balls. Did I miss the boat on this one? 500%. Did any of you guys catch my video on Internet of People down in this consolidation area 2 days ago? Anyone? That is amazing. So here, I'll show you guys a constructive pattern. You guys are looking at patterns, you guys are looking at charts. Let me show you something constructive. So, well, obviously that's constructive, but so I actually don't know much about the Internet of People. I don't know too much about the coin, but I do know something about charts. And when I saw this chart, it made me put it on my video. So go watch the video from 2 days ago, go like 8 minutes in, 7 minutes in, and I start talking about the smaller coins, and I bring up Internet of People with this pattern right here. Within the video, I have this trend line drawn like this, because I drew it when it was up here in this level, and then it dripped down below this trend line, so I redrew it like this in the video. And I said, hey guys, you know, wait for this thing to pop out, look for some volume to come in, and it can move. What's really good about this is, look, you have no volume. You've got no volume anywhere over here. Anywhere in the foreseeable past, you basically have no volume, very wide and loose chart action. Then you have this very good volume coming into the coin. So you have exceptional volume, and this made a 100% run from this 16 level up to this 32 level. And then you have a very nice, tight, consolidating pattern right here. And anytime you see something like this, this is definitely worth a look. Now, granted, it came up and pulled back and was a little choppy, but none of this is bearish action. Even this pullback down here, coming down, look at the volume. Really not very good volume. Just really minor selling until they can buy it up again. They were looking to buy it at lower prices. I mean, hey, if they can stop buying, it'll go back down to their initial entry point, then why wouldn't they do that? And then it just, as you can see, this volume just increases. And I was looking at it over here at this area. I was looking at it here yesterday thinking, oh, that's a nice top. And it was a nice top. And I'm like, I had a feeling it wasn't quite over yet, because if you notice, this volume doesn't even touch this volume over here. Now the volume we get here today, this is a crazy volume. This is crazy volume. And it ran all the way up to freaking 15. That is insane. That is insane. Now to make you guys feel better, I didn't buy any of this either. Bitcoin Cash, yeah, they're having a bit of a run right now. So I'm not sure why this is running right now. Maybe there's something happening between the mining, between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, that's causing this to go up. But the volume signatures, not too bad, not too good either, but it's not too bad. You have a lot of green spikes here, also a lot of red selling happening in here, but it is going up, so it is definitely going up. I mentioned market cap. What market cap are you referring to? Alexander, you mentioned market cap. MCO. I do have MCO down here. So MCO is actually doing something that not too many other coins are doing. It actually is breaking out of this little declining trend line here. The volume isn't, I'm sorry, the action isn't very bullish. Come on, fine, I'll go to the 15-minute chart. So the biggest candle volume is this large topping candle. So not super happy about that, but we'll see if we can get some increased volume to the upside here. Like I said, it did break out of this consolidation, this descending trend line here. So maybe that can keep going. A little hard to tell. Hey, Candace, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Candace. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're learning stuff. Head and shoulders on Trig, and then we'll get to Stratus. You're talking about this overall big head and shoulders pattern? Yeah, it is kind of a head and shoulders pattern. The only thing, let's zoom out, get some perspective. See you, Chris. There's a little bit of perspective. But even past the head and shoulders here, we do have a large declining trend line, or ascending trend line right here. Ascending trend lines usually get broken to the downside, FYI, and declining trend lines usually get broken to the upside. So here's a declining trend line. Here's a declining trend line. Here's a declining trend line. Not too many ascending trend lines get broken to the upside. Not too many. It does happen. But it's fairly rare. It's rare enough that it's kind of a, if you see any kind of a trend line like this, I would be bearish on this. Oh, market cap on Internet of People. Let's look. I was looking at it earlier and I forget it. It's gonna be small. I have no idea, but I think I found this on Bitfinex charts. But yeah, so look, market cap 30,000, 60,000. Man, this is a vapor coin. I just saw the chart and pulled it up. Wow. Only 1,700,000 total supply for Internet of People. That's quite amazing. So it goes from $2, even if it gets back up here to $10, that's still another 500% increase. So look at this big long consolidation area, then boom, just a big top. Look at all that volume right there. ARK and IOTA. So do ARK and IOTA, guys, and I've got to run. Gotta actually do some work today. Nothing exciting about ARK. It's just chopping around. There's nothing to get excited about. Here's a constructive pattern. Here's a constructive pattern. This isn't constructive because it's doing this. That's not constructive. IOTA. Yeah, so if you were paying attention, IOTA broke out of this 50 level on some pretty good volume here. Look at that nice volume. And then, so we have this nice breakout over the 50 level. It's kind of consolidating, really low volume on this pullback. So not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. These two bottom bars kind of held so far, popping up, closing towards the kind of this level up here. So IOTA's not looking bad at all. Yeah, thanks, Alexander. And It's probably good that we're bumping heads, and let me tell you why. It's not because I'm right and you're wrong. It's not that at all. It's because um, if you can explain what you want to do to me, like your trading style, if you can explain your trading style to me, um, then I can help you through it. Does that make sense? Like if you just say I want to catch lows and I want to buy lows and sell highs, that just tells me that there's an experience there. That's just literal inexperience. Anyone that does that learns very quick that buying lows causes a lot of pain. So I can show you a way that's worked for me and a lot of other people. And if you wanted to buy lows, I can try to maybe help you, give you some signals to try to buy those lows. But it's really hard to know like what is a low, because there's a low here, there's a low here, there's a low here, there's a low up here, low here, low here. I mean, there's lows all over the place. So let's go to Ethereum, because there's only a few lows you should have bought in Ethereum. Here's a low you could buy in Ethereum if you want to try to pick an extreme move like this. It's good, but it's really hard to do, because this looks like a low, this looks like a very extreme low, this looks like a very extreme low. So if you're buying low and selling high, like, is this your definition of high? Is this your definition of high? Are you looking to get 5%, 10% out of it? So you need to come up with a strategy of some kind, and then we can walk through it. What period EMA do I perform in cryptos, and how does it relate to the time frame? So I'm actually still working through that. I don't really have, I have some EMAs up here, the 10, the 30, and the 50. I'm not finding, with the market choppy like this, EMAs aren't going to mean anything. Like you look at all these EMAs and this price action, just chopping and chopping and chopping, and yeah, it's coming up to this 50-day and failing. So I would say that a 50-day is kind of universal on a daily chart. Like here, let's go to the daily. In terms of smaller time frames, how that affects the smaller time frames, it's interesting. So in a smaller time frame, for instance, this 10 EMA, which is the black one. If I go into, okay, I'm misspeaking here. This 50 EMA, if I go back in here to the 15-minute or so, this is now like a shorter term. It doesn't make sense. I'm not explaining this correctly, and I apologize about that. But the EMAs in the smaller, in the shorter term, they perform the same function. They kind of perform the same function, but at the same time they get chopped around because it's not ideal for that time frame. And yeah, so my usage of moving averages in stocks is pretty secure, and I can walk you through that any time of the day. My moving average use case in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is a lot more convoluted, mainly because it's a 24/7 market, and because a lot of these coins don't even have a lot of history to even give you a 100-day moving average. So it really is difficult. Yeah, no problem. Welcome, William. Thank you very much. Bitcoin today, just bearishness, just some bearishness. We have increasing selling on this downswing right here. We're coming in testing these levels, so that's not bad. Maybe we get a bounce here, but we're still stuck in a consolidation. It's going to be choppy. We're going to be going up and down for the foreseeable future, and yeah, that's pretty much it.